It's my pleasure to announce Manor College's 2021 to 2025 strategic plan, Caring with Purpose. All of us who teach and support our students are in education because we made a life choice. We've decided that it's not just about what we're working for, but for whom. When a student walks through the door, they bring with them the world they grew up in. For some, the challenge is greater than others. 60.5% of our students are people of color. For many, their parents have had the talk with them about being profiled or discriminated against. There is a historical link for many to economic challenges. Their environment has been one of successive generations of inequity since the founding of our nation. We love our great nation, but it's an imperfect one. One that's incrementally moved toward equity and equality. We're glad for that movement, but we happen to live in a time only a little more than 150 years removed from legalized slavery and only 50 or so years removed from segregated schools. As a society, we have quite a lot of room for maturity. Enter the pandemic, civil unrest, and limited ability to socialize because of lockdowns. Now you've got a recipe that leads to the national decrease in students attending undergraduate institutions. In the fall of 2020, across the country, there was a decrease in attendance of 2 to 10%. Those who made up this percent of students not attending college represent similar backgrounds, experiences, and situations as our students here at Manor. Our students are, by a margin of 60 to 65%, the first generation in their families to go to college. 80 to 85% of them work while they're here. 94% of them receive tuition aid. We've launched a food pantry, a student emergency fund, and we've established a foster program for a reason. Not all of our students fit these categories. We are rich with diversity. But for those who do, the needs are often great. No one has publicly declared that the net effect of the contemporary atmosphere, one which rests upon the shoulders of our nation's history, equates to the largest civil rights problem America now faces. Too many of the underserved, underrepresented, and economically disadvantaged are electing to, unable to, or are too afraid to go to college. If deserving students, no matter their color or social or economic status, don't make it to or through college, what becomes of our democracy? Yes, Manor's announcement today about our next strategic plan links us to something greater. Our nation has an educational civil rights crisis. Where are the politicians? Nationally, Congress continues to play games of brinksmanship, and the fringes of global society are unrelenting in stirring the pot. The media is of little help. There must be a group of people who well up with the audacity to face this confluence of catastrophe. We are the ones who must commit that we have a role and that change starts with us. You, me, we, the Manor College community. We're reminded often enough in popular culture that small groups of determined people have changed our world. Our actions, our words, how we treat each other, the examples we set. If you categorize the last 5 years as bold for our small but mighty institution, our plan for the next 5 years should be categorized rather differently. Our plan is described distinctly as caring with purpose. Rather than focusing on building in the ways we have in the past, we're now committed to focus our excellent institution on equity, depth, impact, and inclusivity. The last 5 years saw some wonderful growth and improvement for our Manor College community. All that colleges should do, we did. Programs, degrees, student population, attention to core student needs, facilities, all of it. We've grown and improved by just about every metric. John Krebs has developed almost 50 KPIs that our leadership consistently monitors in a dashboard showing our quantitative success. And there's no doubt about it, everyone's authentic commitment to our students is qualitatively bringing meaningfulness to students' experiences. With the growth that's ahead, yes, we will measure Manor the way all colleges do, but we will be acutely accountable to the unmeasurable. Dr. King once said that no code of conduct ever persuaded a father to love his children or a husband to show affection to his wife. The law court may force a man to provide bread for the family, but it cannot make him provide the bread of love. He said that a good father is obedient to the unenforceable. His love comes from within, and it's shared freely and sincerely. As Dr. King said, it's a higher law that produces love. Manor College's 2021 to 25 strategic plan has all the accoutrements of not just a good plan, but a marvelous one. What will give it life is love. And remembering over the years, whether we're reminded or not, whether the next catastrophe is on the horizon or in the rearview mirror, that we cannot detach ourselves from an inner sense of urgency for the needs of our students. Indeed, you have already given this love, and you have even given it in this very process. When you were involved in focus groups or data gathering from institutional research, you did so because of your love and commitment to Manor's mission and students. We listened to, heard, and internalized everything you said. Students, faculty, staff, trustees, sisters, alumni, community members, neighbors, and the whole of everyone in Manor College's community were included. Our plan is the plan that we bring together, weighing the ideas, feedback, suggestions of all of us. It's been a full 2 years of work to bring this plan together. Our plan was built around Manor's mission and vision. They were at the core of all data gathering, plan development, and evaluation. When we started, our trustees caucused without remuneration. They did so giving their time and their God-given wisdom freely. When our executive leadership team hunkered down and pushed through the building of the plan amidst our pandemic, they did so keeping our students and you centered in their thinking. When our strategic planning committee met time and again with you and on their own to refine and review the plan, they did so with contemplative, deliberative attention, vetting each idea and testing whether our duties to our students and community are met with precision. Our new plan stands upon this foundation. Unlike our last plan, which was made in the crucible of a very different urgency, our new plan is built on the luxury of our success. It rests on the timeline of 2 years of intense focus and study. This is a strong plan because we made it strong, Manor strong. Our plan was forged in the Basilian flame of the legacy of St. Basil the Great. He wanted a Basiliad, a city where humanity's greatest needs were cared for, a city where the dignity of all people is preciously valued, a city that transforms because people can learn without concern that their stomach is rumbling or that their clothes are too tattered for their work. We are the Basiliad, and this plan will make those whom we serve and us stronger for each and every year of its implementation. As our plan is rolled out, fuse our 7 goals to your caring purpose at Manor. Our first goal is to grow the spirit of Manor College as a close community in the new academic landscape. The world has changed, and if our tagline, "You belong here," is to be of consequence, then everyone must feel included. Our small classes won't change. This is who we are as a uniquely caring institution. We will further this spirit by facilitating greater student interaction and building cohorts so that as they move through their college years, their sense of feeling connected and belonging has clear value. We're preparing to be a COVID vaccine pod distribution site, and our plan calls upon us to revise our return to campus plan, mindful that the world has changed. The new academic landscape requires us to foster stronger connections and welcome new ways of experiencing the Manor spirit. We embrace new opportunities and new needs, as well as new hopes for our students and community. As a part of growing the spirit of the college as a close community, we'll also nurture and enhance how we connect and communicate with our local community in Jenkintown, Abington, and in Greater Philadelphia. Our second goal is to grow our niche mission-served student population. This goal starts with the obvious importance of student body size, but caring with purpose springs into action when we say that we will establish a college-ready program to offer at-risk students an introduction to the collegiate experience prior to their arrival on campus. Yes, in this goal area, we're going to fine-tune the programs we have and identify and promote new programs that make sense, starting with the thinking of our faculty and aligning what we do with the work of institutional research so that we're sure our programs connect our students with jobs and skills demanded in the marketplace. Goal 2 includes reworking what we do in the admissions office to address the educational civil rights crisis that prevents and precludes too many young people and too many people from ever attending or entering college. This is why we've set forth in the plan the need for a concerted strategic enrollment management plan and a related communications plan. We've illuminated a pathway for new admissions leadership to adapt to and to overcome the challenges that existed before and the new challenges that exist today. Third, we'll expand student support services congruent with student needs. This goal is wholly centered on our students, strengthening their career readiness through academic affairs and student affairs collaborations, designing and implementing a student career and life development plan, building on career readiness and cross-unit collaboration. Academic affairs will craft a new plan focused on retention and persistence so that we can evidence to the world that we're not leaving vulnerable populations behind, but rather we're lifting them up to success. In Goal 3, we're addressing faculty's request for additional training and professional development. We're also freeing faculty with the permissions and the tools needed for future self-directed professional development. Yes, we will go on to fulfill the higher law, to be accountable to the unmeasurable, to care with purpose as we increase student leadership opportunities, as we attend to student health, safety, and wellness by exploring options for new staff and new programming services, as we become an NCAA Division III institution that allows our students to live robust student-athlete experiences, and as we become more purposeful in our programming and in our hiring to ensure we're being diverse and inclusive. standing on our success of having already achieved a $10 million set aside in the Pennsylvania budget through the RACP process. Goal 4 helps us to hew out of that mountain the stones of hope for a more brilliant campus that directly answers our students' needs. Not just their academic needs, but their real needs, their core needs as people. There's no disputing that students do better when they feel they belong, when they feel they've already achieved something, and that they now stand and step forward from their own history of overcoming. Our campus is so much stronger due to the renovations we've made in the last 5 years. And that brings us to this summer, when all of our classrooms will finally be in the 21st century. Our vision now can't be to end that chapter. It must be to develop a campus master plan and launch an advancement campaign supporting it and aligned with the RACP grant. With these dollars, we will usher in Manor College's future campus. And it will be a campus that evidences our core values of caring. In this plan, we will facilitate innovation and campus-wide digital transformation with work that's already started that leads us to a new student information system. We had a good run with CAMS, but that dinosaur's extinction is imminent. And like the old classrooms that are one by one anew, we're going to enhance campus technology to be more attuned to student needs and preparedness for their careers. Also in Goal 5, but to be viewed in a much broader sense, is freeing ourselves, licensing ourselves to be creative. There's a little bit of the past that may have frowned upon that, but this plan says that we're going to embrace creativity and we're going to establish an innovation budget that encourages experimentation with new ideas that connect with our Basilian mission and our students' needs. Goal 6 is succinctly ensuring that as we become an institution that cares with purpose, our policies will need to evidence that. We're going to enhance and develop policies and procedures to drive updates that further mature our institution. They will be consistent with diversity and inclusion, and they will raise the bar in the eyes of peers and accreditors. Finally, Goal 7 is one we've placed later on the implementation timeline. This is one we know we want to get to, but before it happens, we will first meet the priorities just outlined. The last goal is growing our mission through eventual graduate program development and university status. Before this happens, we've put into place quantitative thresholds. Until they're achieved, we're given an opportunity to further refine the excellence of everything we do. We will not move forward with graduate programs until we are fully and truly ready. And with the strategic plan we now have, that will be a time when we feel comfortable. Comfortable with proceeding because of all that we've accomplished. Taken together, these 7 goals achieve what is measurable and what is unmeasurable. These goals are how we care with purpose, and they're how small Manor College sets its mighty example. Don't doubt Manor's might for one moment either. Let's keep in mind that Manor College was just named the 2nd safest college in our nation. Let's keep in mind that Manor College was the catalyst for foster students being guaranteed, yes, guaranteed, post-secondary education in the whole of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Let's keep in mind that our faculty have been the leaders in open educational resources in Greater Philadelphia, and that for the past 3 years, we've been the best priced, independent, nonprofit residential college in the state, and that our students are achieving their goals while only carrying about half the debt of their American college graduate peers. By anyone's measure, mighty is an understatement. So now we live up to the unmeasurable. A great strategic plan includes everything great colleges do. Ours does. But our plan looks in between the charts and the tables and the pretty pictures. Our plan sees that the black and white on paper are not a bookkeeper's checklist. We are advisors and mentors to the children, the grandchildren, and all the great-greats of grandchildren of people who came to America praying for the American dream. We are the teacher to new immigrants fleeing from conditions we cannot imagine living. We are the bastion of hope for the descendants of peoples oppressed, bound in servitude, and forbidden from education. We will invite each student to emerge anew, whatever their past, to cast away their anchors along with the confines of this generation's digital shells, so that they know the power of being loved as a son or daughter, or brother or sister. This is our moment. This is when we pray hallelujah for the gifts God has given us. This is when we know that we are indeed the instruments of the Lord's calling us through St. Basil, that we use our time on this earth to do good, to let our entire life be a lived time of prayer. It is now our love to give. We have a new plan, and with it, a Manor strong way of thinking. Together, we promise to actualize our care and to be caring with purpose. Thank you for joining me today. Saints Basil and Macrina, they are interceding for us. May God bless you and us, our students, and our Manor College.